Good morning, everyone. 12 minutes past 7 o'clock right now, and it is time to visit with our friends from Westside Auto Pros. Joe, the other car guy, joining us in studio with us right now. And happy belated birthday. Let's get that out of the way.
That's right. Thank you.
I'm sure you had the little hat on and bells and whistles and had a grand old time.
That's right.
Did we miss the birthday special yesterday at Westside Auto Pros?
You did, yeah.
Oh,
Darn it.
no.
One day late.
Man.
The secret special.
It's a secret special.
See, you always have to find out when it's Joe's birthday and Ron is out of town.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
that combination is absolutely priceless.
That's right.
Or at least there's usually ice cream cake. All right, so we're talking about a kind of an interesting topic this morning, Joe. Kind of lead us off. What's going on?
We are. Today is gasoline direct injected engines. What that is in layman's terms is that's more or less what you're going to be driving at some point in the very near future if you're not already.
Okay.
That is, the fuel is directed right onto the top of the piston, as opposed to washing down through the valves. It's similar to a diesel engine, even though it's still gasoline. And in the mid-2000s, a lot of manufacturers started using that. And as of today, there's over 60% of the vehicles on the road, or that are sold now, that have that. So it's a huge change.
And they call that GDI?
GDI.
Why is this change happening?
Why that's happening is because the federal government is obviously increasing what they want for fuel economy out of their engines. Or vehicles, so the manufacturers had to do something to be able to do that. You can only get so much fuel economy out of a standard engine before you've maxed out and you have to change your design.
Right.
Now, is GDI the same thing as fuel injection?
No. Fuel injection has been around for
A long time.
time.
Yeah, that's where it was confusing here.
Yeah, and so they've taken the injector, instead of the injector spraying fuel down through the valve and the valve coming up and down and combusting it,
Right.
they've moved the injector off to the side. So as the piston comes up, it's actually grabbing the fuel. It's spraying in there.
Got it. Okay.
So what that is going to do is there's a leaner fuel mixture on them. And what leaner means is there's more air and less fuel being used. And so that's where the fuel economy comes into play. A regular fuel injected vehicle uses about 15 gallons of air, just short of that,
Okay.
for every gallon of gasoline.
All right.
These new engines are using 40 gallons of air for every gallon.
That's a
of
little bit of a
gasoline.
difference, isn't it?
So there's a huge change in that. And that doesn't tell you that you're going to get triple the fuel economy, but when it's all said and done, you do come out ahead.
So what does that mean for us, the consumer?
What that's going to end up meaning is there's going to be a cost involved as far as cost of ownership and maintenance.
Okay.
These engines are still designed to last, the life of the vehicle. You're not going to have to swap an engine out every 50,000 miles or anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Unless you don't take care of them.
Right. True.
They have to have, higher quality fuel put in them. You should use top tier detergent. You can find a list of who does that at toptiergas.com. Those are the ones that are held to a higher standard.
Now,
and
you're
use more
talking top tier,
detergents.
not necessarily higher octane. You're talking quality.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
there's still 87 and 89 octanes that
But
are
it's
top
the quality.
tier.
Okay.
Because there is a group of gasoline producers that have went in and said, we're going to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We're going to put more detergents in, because gas companies are using less detergent because it costs less to manufacture it.
Right.
And they're worried about their bottom line. We all know that.
Right.
So the gas does not cost more than a lower detergent fuel. Some of them do require the premium that you were just talking about. I've got a direct injected one that requires premium, and I've got a direct injected one that does not require premium. So it's going to tell you that right on your fuel door. When you open it up at the pump, it will say requires premium fuel only.
Okay.
Or-
I was wondering, I'm like, if this is kind of the new trend, are we going to see, little GDIs on the back of our vehicles?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
so we know?
It used to be that it would say like ABS, like anti-lock brake system was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And now this one.
And now
is
we're all the
bumping
way
them
to
out
like
of the way.
GDI and
All right.
whatever else that comes with that. So the biggest thing on these also, no matter what fuel you use, is changing the oil frequently. The days of going 1,000 or 2,000 or skipping an oil change are over with if you plan on keeping the engine running
Yeah,
smoothly.
but nowadays
Really?
the oil does last longer than it did back in the old days, doesn't it? Or are you still, thinking that 3,000 is probably a good mark?
We, even on our full synthetic oil changes, which any GDI is going to require the highest grade synthetic oil you can buy, I would not go over 5,000 miles. to get this fuel economy out of the vehicles that are required. The passages in that are inside this engine are so small that any type of breakdown in the oil that could turn into sludge can clog one of these passages.
So you have to keep the oil clean, is what you're saying?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
I would rather change
essential.
it too frequently than be stuck with the thousands of dollars of repair bills for tearing an engine apart.
Yeah, so when the light comes on to say change your oil, stop and change your oil.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep, it's absolutely vital on this engine that get done.
So kind of gone are the days of we're looking for the really, the cheap oil change.
Yeah.
You're going to want to spend the money to make sure you're taking care
Yeah,
of
if you're
it.
driving a GDI service, do not go to the 1995 10-minute lube special because it is not going to be sufficient for that engine. And the other thing is the manufacturer, if it's still under warranty and you're not following that, they can do oil tests to find out what's in there. If you're not getting it serviced regularly at a dealer, they can reject your claim. They don't have to.
And they don't feel bad about doing that either.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It just saved them however many thousands of dollars.
Now, speaking of money, and you just mentioned, the price of an oil change. Sure, you're talking about making sure you get the higher quality gas. Does that higher quality gas always come with a higher price tag?
No, not at all. Top tier detergent gasoline, if it's not premium, is going to be the exact same price as the 87 and 89 that you're buying that's not top tier detergent.
You just have to know where to look for
You
it.
just have to know where to look
Got
for
it,
it.
okay.
And there's a list on that website, and there's several stations in the metro area. I mean, you're not going to be driving.
There's the
So
Yeah,
toptiergas.com if you want to
toptiergas.com.
learn more about that. And you were saying there's already GDI vehicles on the roads, but eventually we're all going to be GDI?
For the most part, it's going to happen at some point in the near future. Ford, General Motors, most of the European market as far as Audis, Volkswagens, Mercedes, BMWs.
Yeah, I think I remember
all
seeing years
GDIs.
ago on Volkswagens the GDI.
Yep.
The branding on Volkswagen.
They were one of the first ones
Right.
that started that
Okay. Wow.
that trend, and Toyota, Honda.
But hopefully
they're
we'll be
all
seeing
going
that
to
fuel
it.
economy on the other end as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
All right, any questions about this or anything in general when it comes to your vehicle in general, you just get a hold of Westside Auto Pros. There's the number 225-9090. Call over there and say, hey, is Joe there? And probably you end up picking the phone up.
Yeah, I might even answer it
Yeah,
for
you might even answer the phone.
And then wish him happy birthday and say
There you
you're
go.
old.
Exactly.
Good job, Joe the car guy.
Thank you so much.
It's 20 minutes past.